Hello everyone, welcome to First and Not the Exorcist, and as you can probably tell, I am under the weather. I have no idea where this cold came from, but it just showed up. But anyway, that doesn't really matter because what really does matter is that Lecrae has finally dropped Church Close for the fourth and final entry, at least so he says, into the Church Close series. Now I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have no emotional attachment to the Church Close series. Honestly, the only Lecrae albums that I've listened to um, is everything from the one he dropped in 2017. I think it was All Things Work Together or something like that. Uh, just all of his projects since then I have listened to, but Church Closed through 1 and 3 dropped before that, so I just haven't gotten to listen to those. And honestly, I mean like nothing against the guy, but I'm just not that big of a Lecrae fan to the point where I'm willing to go back and listen to them. So yeah, I'm just gonna be going in with a clean slate. Obvious, honestly, I've been seeing a lot of reactions online about about how great the album is. It's one of the best albums of the year and all that stuff. So it'll be great to see if it actually lives up to that, because I do like Lecrae as a rapper, but I just think that he's overrated. Like that's my only thing. That's my only thing about people on Lecrae. Everyone calls him the goat and stuff, but honestly, I just I don't know. Maybe I just like need to delve into his more older music to really see if he's as good as people says he is. Because like the stuff that he's dropped since 2017, when I first heard of him and started listening to him, it's been great. It's been good. All of it's been great. But well, not all of it, but the majority has been great. But I just haven't seen what others have seen. So, yeah. So without further ado, I've already wasted enough time. So let's just head straight into Church Close 4. There's nothing else to say. So, first we have up here track 1, titled CC4. It's only a minute and 47 seconds long. So I guess that probably means it's just a quick intro track. So, yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, CC4, the intro, minute and 47 seconds. That is the absolute best way I think that he could have possibly opened up the project, right? Um, that was that's great. That's almost perfect. That is like that's great. That's a really solid rock hard solid intro. Sort of, it's of course it's really short. It's a minute and 47 seconds, but it's basically about it's about Lecrae like talking about the more mainstream like evangelism, like mega church types, and of course he doesn't mean like all of them. He means like the stereotypical ones who only show up to like to make themselves look good, and they only do charity. I mean like whatever they do charity. They're always like with cameras and stuff, trying to basically like trying to give themselves like the best, happiest, like most positive image ever, and they only seem to be in it for the big show and the big lights and all of the like easy praise that comes with Christian music, and just like to be highly favored and to be like congratulated, and and just to like appear higher in a sense. Like that's the agenda that he says that he's exposing in that song, and it was an amazing intro. It was like, as I said, like the best possible way that I think he could have opened up the track. And yeah, that is one of the best. Like this is some of, literally in this minute and 47 seconds, it's literally some of the best um that I've heard from Lecrae ever since I started listening to him back in 2017. It just like I just wasn't expecting it to go this hard, and I like the sample with like the um with the enthusiastic pastor like shouting like leave me alone and stuff like that, and the rapture and stuff. And yeah, just like overall, like I said, it's the best possible way that he could have opened up the album. It is a rock solid intro. Like the lyrics, his charisma, his like just like the whole production of it. Not gonna lie, I have heard similar from him before, but this is but this is the best that I've ever heard him do something like this, right? This is like just solid execution. Everything about it, his whole performance was passionate and just like filled with just filled with like general concern, filled with like actual feelings and stuff. And that's the best performance ever, right? So yeah, that's a CC4 is a really solid intro. I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Usually I wouldn't really spend a lot of time on intros because they're, you know, basically just like instrumentals with a couple of lyrics mixed in there. But this is different. This is absolutely solid. This is amazing. So yeah, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Could not have opened the album any better, so let's hope it gets better. With the next track, we have Spread the Ops. Alright, Spread the Ops. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because I have reviewed this song before when it originally came out a month ago or like a couple months ago. Or, I mean, it's basically like 2 months ago at this point. Right, I gave my like full thoughts and everything in a Christian rap roundup that I did some months ago. So if you're interested, you could just type Christian rap roundup Lecrae. It should be like the first one to pop up. Yeah, and it's the last song that I review in that video. So yeah, if you're interested, then it's there. So but basically in the context of the album, not gonna lie to you, I still kind of feel the same way. You know, like even with the impressive strength of the opening track, and that having like the last section being the chorus of Spread the Ops, like the Spread the Ops song itself, to me, just it still doesn't grab me, right? It still doesn't do much for me. It, you know, like I still hold the same thoughts that I did some months ago where I said it was a good song, but it just didn't, you know, just didn't hold on to me like that. It just kind of felt like regular to me, but not like 5 out of 10 like average regular. Like it's like a good regular, you know. It's like a, oh yeah, this is good, but it's also regular. It's that kind of regular. So overall, well, I guess I should see what the song's about. Nah, I don't really have to. Anyway, overall, yeah. So if you're interested in my like full, like detailed thoughts on Spread the Ops, as I said, Christian Rap Roundup, Lecrae, the last song that I review in that video, it's that. So, yeah. Overall, I still give it a 6.5 out of 10, just like I did in my Christian Rap Roundup. Yeah, it's just a regular but good enough song. It's not bad at all. So let's move on to track 3. It's called Dirt. All right, Dirt is basically about Lecrae talking about like how his father left him when he was young, and how like God adopted him. Like basically like he was raised on God's word and stuff like that. And he also talked about, well, like the dirt part comes from him, of course, like metaphorically rising up out of the dirt, like the life that he was living before he became a born again Christian, where he was, you know, doing stereotypical black stuff that, you know, oh wow, that sounds terrible. You know what I mean, like street stuff, when he was doing street stuff as he was younger. So he refers to that as the dirt, and when God brought him out of that, he, you know, that's him being lifted out of the dirt. And it's also talking about like you know, like how like God is the only one that can save him. And then like he says, what does he say? Oh, he says, get me off the block before they put me in the dirt. So he had to leave that lifestyle because, you know, it's very likely that he could have ended up dead. yeah, so that's basically what the song's talking about. It's pretty short, 2 minutes 57 seconds. And basically, I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. The beat is good enough. Definitely something I've heard him do similar to before. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a good song. Is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, it's honestly, there's not much to actually say about it. It's got a great beat. I like the punch in it, the 808s, the bass, and everything about it. And of course, I like the subject matter of him being raised up from the grave, out of the dirt. Basically, leaving the streets to follow God and to lead a life that wouldn't that would leave him less likely to die from like violence or drugs or anything like that. So yeah, it's a good song is what I'm trying to say. So I like it better than Spread the Ops, but it's I don't know, it's just fine overall for me, honestly. So overall I give it a 7 out of 10. A solid 7 out of 10 seems fair. It's short, gets its message across, and leaves, which is good, because honestly there's not much to it, because you can hear it in his voice that he's passionate about it and stuff, but the chorus isn't that strong. It's pretty generic, honestly, right? And yeah, just like overall, it's just a fine song. I don't I don't have anything else to say about it, so I'm just gonna move on. So it's a fine song, nice beat. Lecrae does a good job rapping on it, decent chorus, right? So solid 7 out of 10. Not gonna lie to you, kind of forgettable though. So yeah, let's move on to track 4. We have Still in America. I'll be right back. Okay, Still in America, track 4. That might have been the best Lecrae song I've ever heard in my entire life. In the, what is it, like 5 or 6 years ever since I started listening to Lecrae, that is one of the most powerful like rap songs I've ever heard. It is like, I love the old school, like what's it called, blaxploitation, like 70s soul kind of vibe to it. Like I just love that instrumental. It mixed in really well. um well, like 60s and 70s soul, whatever. And yeah, and he just talked about everything, like all of the. And the thing is that makes it so great is that he didn't lean heavily to either side. He just told it like what it was. Like he talked about everything from politics to the abortion rights, like the um divide between races, how things aren't fair depending on your race and your income. He just covered the whole section. No one was safe. Like everyone from the church people to the politics, left and right wing, everything. Just like he just said everything, and he put it into this nice, like, listenable. It just, and this song truly shows me like how great of a rapper and just artist that Lecrae is, because this is not easy to pull off, because a lot of people have tried to do something similar to this before. While some have been successful, many have failed, because packing all of this serious real life subject matter, basically to make a like a like a reporting rap song on everything, on politics. It just, like, most of the time comes off as corny and just like cheap, and and like almost like funny in a way. Like they're just trying to get some attention, or they're just not talented enough to pull it off, so it just comes off sounding like they're doing some weird party or something like that. But this is serious. This sounds serious, and it's still enjoyable to listen to, right? Like, and the like moments of like satire in there, like in at the start of the second verse. I'm not sure if that's Lecrae himself, where they just like kind of did some filters to his voice to make it sound like that. But when I first heard that, I kind of thought that I wasn't gonna like it, because it's a very quirky, like Eminem, like just like I mean like late Eminem, like a lot of lyrical spiritual rappers, rappers that are labeled lyrical spiritual, try to pull off something like that, and then they just like sound phony, and it sounds corny and cringe all the way through. But in here, when I like when it, because like thankfully it didn't last for long. Stop stuttering. Thankfully it didn't last for long, but for the time that it was there, I just kind of learned to appreciate it, because it just like helped with the overall production of the song, and it's really, really powerful. Still in America is a very powerful track, and like I just said, he talked about everything, all of the politics, all of the social issues. Well, of course not like all of them, but like he hovered over all the major ones, right? And in the end, it didn't feel unfinished. It felt satisfied, and it's all in a nice tight package of 3 minutes to 3 minutes and 21 seconds, which is really, really important, because something like this going on for too long can easily get tired. So I'm glad that he kept it in this small, well not exactly small, but just like average time track, and it just like everything about it works perfectly, right? And it's just such an amazing song. That's exactly what I needed. That is powerful right there. I just wasn't expecting it to be that good, because I heard people mentioning this song, especially when they were praising the album on like Twitter and stuff. And so I was kind of and anticipating it to like see what it was gonna be, and it just blew all of my expectations out of the water. This is amazing. This is an amazing track, and I cannot see it getting any better than this. But if it's around this area of good, this is gonna be a classic project for sure. So Still in America, really powerful song. Everything about it is darn near perfect. So overall, I give it a solid. Honestly, I can't pick right now. It's somewhere between a 9 out of 10 out of 10, because I want to give it a 10 really, really bad, but I'm not too sure if I like it that much. But by the time I get to editing, I will have made my decision, so you'll just see it up on the screen. Alright, I need to stop because this is taking up way too much time, but this is an amazing track. So let's move on to song number 5. We have what kind of looks like a posse cut, actually. It's called Misconceptions 4. Lecrae, No Big Deal, John Keith, and AI The Anomaly. And it's pretty short for a song that has 4 people on it, so I'm interested to hear what that's going to sound like. So I'll be right back. Alright, Misconceptions 4 with Lecrae, No Big Deal, John Keith, and AI The Anomaly. That was really great. That was great. Not gonna lie to you, it does sound like a pretty generic. Okay, wow, we already started off wrong. It sounds like let's just get like the very small negatives out of the way. It sounds like a regular posse cut. Okay, when I say it sounds like that, I don't mean like the overall thing. I mean like the beat and just like how the song like progresses and stuff. It sounds like a regular posse cut. Is what I'm trying to say. And everyone here does a great job. Everyone here brought their A game. This is probably like AI. I think that I've heard her do like even like better like lyrical stuff. And Lecrae, honestly, this is one of Lecrae's best like rap performances, and the same thing goes with No Big Deal and John Keith. This is at at least the most lyrical that I've heard John Keith and No Big Deal on the track. And yeah, I was kind of worried at first with the 3 minute 52-second runtime. I thought that I wouldn't have given everyone enough time to, like really feel as if they fulfilled their purpose of actually being on the track. But thankfully those fears were not realized, because everyone here feels fulfilled. Everyone here feels like they gave 100%. Everyone here feels as if they had enough time to get off what they had to say on their mind. And this is a really, really great, really, really great posse cut. As you know, it's called Misconceptions 4. I'm not sure if there's a Misconceptions 1 through 3. Maybe it's something that's been on the Church Close projects going up to now. I don't know, but I'm guessing that it's called Misconceptions 4 because it's 4 people on the song. But yeah, as I said, they all do a great job. Even though the beat is pretty just think about just think about a posse cut beat. Think about, like, if you've heard posse cuts in rap before, think about the most generic, basic posse. Wow, that okay. I don't mean that. Okay, it, like the beat is fine, all right, but the beat is not the main focus of the song, which is great, all right. It is a bit of a negative because I do wish if the beat was a bit better, but as it is, it's just a generic posse cut beat, okay. But that is fine. That is good. It doesn't ruin anything for me. Lecrae, I think, had the best verse. Honestly, if I had to rank who brought the best overall performance with bars and stuff and lyrics, I'd have to say Lecrae at the top. Lecrae, okay, Lecrae. I gotta put No Big Deal and John Keith neck and neck on. And you know what? Yeah, Lecrae, No Big Deal and John Keith neck and neck. AI the Anomaly, I'm pretty sure had this the smallest verse, the shortest verse. But it's still a great verse from her. So that's what I'm trying to say. But she is she mostly does lyrical stuff as far as I know, and I've definitely heard better. But this is But it's still a really solid verse from her. I'm not saying like she gave a bad verse or anything. It's still a great verse. But it's just that Lecrae in the end just came in with just a almost masterpiece of a rap verse there. So yeah, it's basically about them talking about misconceptions when it comes to Christians. I think that No Big Deal said it best. In his verse, he was the first verse. Right at the end, he said, "Which verse? Oh, earlier in his verse, he talked about singing Lecrae's music with a gay person, and at the end of the verse, he says, I know they confused. They thought believers could not agree, because it's a it's a stereotypical and honestly a sadly true thing that a lot of that there's 1,000 denominations out there, and the numbers climbing every day because we do not agree on everything. But yeah, it's basically about misconceptions of Christians, and also just them talking about their walk with God, them choosing to follow God, and just not looking and sounding like the your everyday stereotypical Bible carrying, suit and tie wearing Christian, but still being really seriously following the Lord. And that's basically what the song's about. They all get that message across greatly with all of their verses. It's not going for too long. It's 3 minutes 52 seconds. It's perfectly timed. The beat is generic, but the overall song, really, really great. So overall, I would give Misconceptions 4 a I could have to say. So either an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10 overall. So yeah, great posse cut. Really, really great from each and every artist on there. They all did a really, really great job. Solid track. So let's move on to track 6. We have Good Lord, Lecrae featuring Andy Mineo. I'll be right back. All right, Good Lord, by Lecrae featuring Annie Video. 60s, 70s, and James Brown. That is everything that comes to mind when I listen to this song. And yeah, it's a great song. Basically, the song is about Lecrae and Andy, basically praising God and thanking God, that they have, I mean, for all of the like blessings and stuff that He gave them. And it's basically them saying that, hey, no matter what, the Lord has blessed us with many things, but even if we lost them, we would still have a good Lord. I like the use of the James Brown sample. I would like to know how much that costs. Actually, must have been a pretty penny because they use it every single time that they have a chance to. But yeah, it's a pretty short song actually. 3 minutes 7 seconds. They both drop a nice short verse, and it's got a nice funky, as I said, 60s 70s like soul funk vibe to it. And it of course still makes me think about black exploitation movies. And yeah, just overall, it's a great song. Nothing spectacular, nothing to really write home about, but just a really solid, well executed, like 60s and 70s funk inspired rap song, um, about praising God. And yeah, it's a great song. So nothing else really to say about it. So I mean, yeah, I didn't really talk about their performances. But Lecrae and Andy have great performances on the track. I wouldn't say that one outshined the other. They both kind of met each other in the middle. And yeah, it's just it's a great thing from them both. They both bragged about their wives and stuff. And yeah, it's just a great song. Praise the Lord. Good Lord. So yeah, great song. So overall, I give it about a solid 7.5 out of 10. As I said, nothing spectacular, but still a great song. Really enjoyable, nice funky groove to it. So yeah, that's about it. So let's move on to track 7. It's the I-45 freestyle. 1 minute and 49 seconds. So this should be interesting. All right, I-45 freestyle. Let's just get this out of the way first of all. There's no way that's a freestyle. Okay, come on, Lecrae. That is not a freestyle. There's no way that you did all that. All right, all those flow switches and stuff, and that's a freestyle. There's no way. I'm sorry. I'm just, in this day and age, people call anything and everything a freestyle to make it seem impressive. Okay, when it's basically just a remix. I mean, this isn't a remix, but it's but it's all right. It's basically it sounds like an ode to southern hip hop. I think it's called like the where's the section that it's from? Was it at Atlanta? I think it's from. Oh no, or is it Texas? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Texas. Yeah, it's Texas. Yeah. Texas, like with the whole chopped and screwed thing. Yeah, like they're doing that over the course and stuff. Yeah, so really short track, shortest track on here. It's 1 minute and 49 seconds. Sorry, and for what it's worth, for what it is, it's a pretty good song. I mean, it's a pretty good song. It's not about anything in particular. Lecrae's just basically talking about. I mean, it's just regular rap stuff, honestly. It's not. He's talking about the car and how he's back in town, telling his girl he's back in town. It's just regular stuff. Nothing worth explaining or bringing up as a meaning or anything. It's just basically there as an ode to Texas, like the whole chopped and screwed area thing. I'm not well versed in that, so obviously, as you can tell. But yeah. Oh, and also Tadashi does the chorus, and he also does the outro for the song, even though he's not credited. And he does a great job, honestly. Not too fond of his radio voice because he does have that like deep voice that like that the stereotypical radio voice people have. But just the way how he did it on here, it didn't really gel that well with me. It didn't really work that much for me. But it was fine. It was good enough. I mean, like the outro, the chorus, him on a chorus was great. Probably the best part of the song, honestly. Um, One thing that was weird about it was that I didn't really notice the instrumental a bunch when I was listening to it because I listened to it twice. I just throughout the whole listening experience of it, I just didn't notice the instrumental really highlighting itself much. That's not a problem or anything, but it's just something that I noticed. So yeah, just yeah. Overall, it's I doubt that it's an actual freestyle, but I won't take anything away, whether it is a freestyle or not. It's just an ode to Southern, um, chopped and screwed, like Texas rap, and it's as that for that purpose. It serves that purpose. So yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. A solid 7 out of 10. It's harmless, It's a pretty good track. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it. Next track we have track 8, "Take Me Up" featuring What Up RG. All right, "Take Me Up" Lecrae and What Up RG is yet another solid track. Lyrically, it's not really talking about anything too special, honestly. It's just it's basically about Kalima. Um, it's basically them praising God, like thanking Him for His blessings and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that being the topic like constantly, but it's just how you execute it, right? Because you need to do it in different ways. Otherwise it'll just get repetitive. And thankfully, this is not repetitive. It's a switched up way of saying it, and yeah, it's a really really good way. Um, Not gonna lie, in here they sample Bone Thugs and Harmony's biggest hit from like '95. What's it called again? Crossroads. Make me at the crossroads, moving on. Yeah. Crossroads, right? It samples that for the pre-chorus, I think you would call it. But it's not Bone Thugs and Harmony singing it. It's this choir and Lecrae's um like rendition of it. And I'm not gonna lie, I do wish if Bone Thugs and Harmony were just like straight up sampled on it. Instead of them like just saying their lyrics, it would have worked better, honestly. Because I just like their voices in harmony better than the version that they decided to put on here. But this one is still good. It's still good. It's still a good use of it. You know, uh, you know, although both those would have been better, but that's besides the point. So, yeah. So the song's not really about anything special. No real use in explaining it. What a bar G. I do wish if he had a bigger part to play on the song because he's just on the chorus, and the chorus is pretty short. I would have liked to hear What Up RG with a verse. That would have been great because he always does well on on melodies and stuff like that. So yeah, he always does a great job of that. Coming well. Interesting. So yeah, just like overall, Take Me Up. It's basically about praising God and stuff. It has a nice, like fulfilling churchy vibe to it. But it's just honestly, it's just well executed formula. Honestly, it's got a nice vibe to it. So overall, I give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Nothing really to write home about. Nothing spectacular. Nothing new, but just a really well executed um, Christian rap song about praising God. So yeah, everyone does a great job. Great song. 7.5 out of 10. So let's move into the next track. It is "Protect My Peace," Lecrae featuring Jordan L'Oreal. I'll be right back. All right, "Protect My Peace," Lecrae featuring Jordan L'Oreal, and this one was cool. This one was fine. This one was all right. First, it's good. It's a good song. It honestly is. As far as what it's about, the name is very self-explanatory. It's just about them, basically singing and rapping about protecting about taking measures to protect their inner peace, because that is what is most valuable at the end of the day. Is it most, no, one of the most valuable things you can have at the end of the day is the protection of your peace, and that's what they're saying out here. It's a pretty short song, 2 minutes 53 seconds, and honestly, nothing really to write home about. Everyone just, it's just a well executed song. Of course, I like the concept and everything. Lecrae does a great job in his performance. With his like melodies and also his rapping. The beat is fine, I guess. The beat is okay. Jordan L'Oreal, I like her voice, but since this is my introduction to her, I would have liked for her to be a bigger part of the song. It didn't exactly have to be like a verse. It didn't have to be like a whole other verse. It could have just been maybe like a chorus, and like just let her do the chorus by herself, as well as a pre-chorus or maybe an outro or an intro, something like that, because I just didn't feel much of her identity on the track, and it's not one of those where it's like super important for everyone to have their defined thing happening, but it's just that she had the best part of the song, because like right after the chorus, when they're like protecting my peace, and then she's using her her melodies to do the that is really clearly the best part of the song, and really catchy. And I just sort of I would have liked to hear what she would have done if she had more of the track to herself, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, just overall, Protect My Peace, great song, pretty simple, pretty like easily understandable and stuff. It's basically just a vibe on a good message, and and that's really all that it takes to be good at the end of the day. So yeah, Protect My Peace. Have not fully decided whether or not I'm giving it a 7 or a 7.5, but by the time I get here in editing, you'll have seen, you'll see it up on the screen, so you'll see whether I choose a 7 or a 7.5 out of 10. But either way, it is a solid vibe of a track. So let's move into track 10, the second single that got released, I think, last week for the album. It's called Fear Not. So I'll be right back. All right, Fear Not, track 10. That sounded better than I remember it. Well, since this is a single and it got released, I'm pretty sure last week, Friday, I did a review of it. So I'm just gonna keep this really short. If you want to see like what I thought about it then, like when it just came out with just a couple listens in, you could just just check in my upload section, and you'll see right there. It's a very recent video, probably like just like a couple like 3, 4, 5 videos ago, and then I wasn't really fond of it that much. It just kind of felt like Spread the Ops to me. I did like it better than Spread the Ops, but similarly, I just felt as if it just felt kind of generic, kind of like this kind of thing had been done before, and I still think that, but I like it a bit better. Something that really helped was that really smooth transition, because honestly, I think that it works better as a album track than it does as a single, because I can understand why he released it as a single, because Spread the Ops did really well for him. But in the context of the album, it sounds like an even better song to me, because of that really smooth, just catchy transition between Protect My Peace and Fear Not. Like that's a really smooth transition into the next song. And yeah, I just felt a bit more of an appreciation for it. The choir didn't bother me as much, like the first time that I heard it last week. And yeah, just hear it. It just sounded better. Just everything that I liked about it got amplified by just a margin. So I guess I just needed a couple more listens, and yeah, so because it sounded better to me now. Um, Basically, the song is about it's just about like him talking about his past sins and like how it's left like scars and baggage for other people. People that he's hurt in his past before he was walking with God, or like even during his walk with God, he still hurt people. He still made mistakes. He still sinned, because we all do. No matter who you are. And yeah, that's just basically what the song's about. It's basically saying, don't be afraid to bring it to God. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Anyway, yeah. That's basically what the song's about. Anyway, so yeah, fear not. I like it better now. Everything that I said in my initial review of it last week, well, everything positive is amplified, and everything negative, just didn't stand out as much to me. So now I think that it's a good song. Pretty good song. So overall, I give it a solid 7 out of 10. And yeah, that's about it. I like the use of the choir. I like the instrumental. I like Lecrae's various flows and the beat, especially how it starts knocking at the end. That's really, like makes you nod your head and stuff. It's really catchy. So yeah, it's just a great song overall. Solid track. And definitely works better as an album track than it does as a single, in my opinion. So let's move on to track 11. We have We Did It, Lecrae featuring PJ Morton. I'll be right back. Alright, We Did It, Lecrae featuring PJ Morton. And this is one of those songs. It's one of those like victorious, like celebration songs, a lot like his past hit Blessings, and just other songs that he's done in the past. Like, I think basically almost every Christian rapper has done a song like this similarly in the past. And yeah, this is just a great example of well executed formula, in my opinion. You know what I like to see? I would like to see a list of PJ Morton features where he's just doing this kind of song, like that kind of like cookout, safe for the family kind of music, where it's like, thanking God for his blessings, thanks to all the people that were praying for me, we made it out the trenches, those kind of songs. I would love to see a list of the features that he did for those kind of songs, and I bet that it would be a long list, like at least like 9 or 10 songs maybe, because I swear I've heard over the past maybe 4 or 5, would be like more like 3 or 4 years. I swear, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that I've heard PJ Morton on a bunch of songs like these in the past. All right, and they're, and this is one of the better ones. Like those past ones weren't bad or anything, but this is just, it's just well executed formula is what I'm trying to say. So Lecrae does a great job on the track. I don't usually like him in this element where he's kind of, well, okay, this no, that's something else. Lecrae's kind of hit or miss for me when it comes to him, like making it like less serious for like a general audience. Like when he does that kind of thing in his music, it's kind of hit or miss for me. And this, thankfully, is one of the hit moments. This is actually probably like one of the best attempts at making like one of those victorious, we did it, we are the winners, we moved up in life and succeeded, thank God, those kind of songs. This is probably like the best. Now, Blessings is better, but this is like the second best kind of song like that he's done. So yeah, PJ Morton does a great job singing the chorus. Excuse me. Lecrae does a great job on the rapping, and yeah, just overall, it's a solid track. So nothing to write home about, nothing special. Almost every rapper in Christian hip hop has made a song like this at some point. And yeah, but yeah, it's still a good song. It's just, as I said before, well executed formula. So overall, I give We Did It, Lecrae featuring PJ Morton, about a, I think, a 7 to a 7.5. Not too sure, but by the time I get to editing, I'll make that decision. So yeah, 7 or a 7.5. So let's move into track 12. We have Journey. I'll be right back. All right, Journey, Lecrae. And I'm not sure who the other guy is because there's someone else there. It's definitely not Lecrae singing the chorus. And it's kind of weird how that guy's not credited, honestly, because it is a pretty long chorus. It does take up a significant portion of the song. Anyway, yeah, Journey is basically Lecrae rapping about the journey of life, to the point where, you know, like we all stumble, we all make mistakes, but you know, it's not about what happens, you know. I don't even know my full analogy. Anyway, it's not about what happens, like. Okay, let me just read it. Right. It's not about the bad moments. It's, you know, it's not about highlighting the downs and the like falters of people, because you know we all make mistakes. We all like fall in judgment and stuff and sin. But what the song is saying is that it's about the journey of life, because of course we make mistakes, but also, you know, but that mistake does not define us unless we let it define us, because it's about the journey of life. It's about, it's about the impact that you leave at the end of the journey of your life. It's not about highlighting all the mistakes and, you know, trying to paint it trying to paint someone as this bad person like forever and ever, like in all conversations, because they stumbled. You know, because we all stumble, and I'm sure that we all would not want to be defined by our, you know, falters in life. Is basically what the song is saying. And what really won me over and really made me like the song was Lecrae's lyrics, because not gonna lie to you, the chorus, it's good, but it's also very, 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 very generic. I have heard this chorus maybe 50 to 100 times in multiple Christian rap songs by multiple artists over multiple years, for like 5 or 6 years since I started listening to Christian rap. I've been hearing this exact same chorus, and this exact same chorus has always sounded generic to me, because it's one of those choruses, you know, like nothing on the person who sang it, because they sang it well, they sang it fine, but it's nothing spectacular. It's nothing out there. It's not really leaving much of an impact, is what I'm trying to say about the chorus. But the chorus at the end of the day is fine. Now, as far as the song itself, like overall, as I said, Lecrae is the one who really brings it home for me, because he because like he highlights some of his falters, like especially that at the Passion Conference, I think it was like 2 years ago, when he mentioned that, it you know, made me remember the situation, and I thought that was a good nod to it, especially at the end of the verse where he said, "No, I let a lot of folks down, but God was with me. Gotta forgive myself if I know that the Lord forgive me." So self-forgiveness, because you all you can say to people is, "Forgive me, I'm sorry, forgive me." But you know, whether they accept it or not is not really anything that you can like contribute to. So you just kind of gotta forgive yourself and move on. But I especially like the part where he like got that emotional tone in his voice and started rapping about the rapping for the guys in prison and stuff, and telling them that he's gonna come back, and just lighting up these guys' days, and then and just giving them some hope and stuff. You know, so that was really sweet of him to do something like that, right? So yeah, that's basically it. I like the message of the song. I like what Lecrae does with his lyrics for the message of the song. Chorus, hit or miss. You know, pretty generic, but it's fine. It doesn't ruin the track for me. So overall, Journey, I'm giving it 7. I'm saying a solid 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. Oh, I forgot to mention beat. It's got a really nice emotional beat to it as well. You know, so that's another positive for it. So yeah, that's about it for Journey. Pretty good song. So let's move into the final track. It is called Deconstruction. This should be an interesting track. It is also the closing track, so yeah, hopefully this one is not a letdown. So Deconstruction, track 12. I'll be right back. All right, Deconstruction, the 13th and final track on Church Close 4. This is a very emotional track. It's about Lecrae talking about um, how he came into some conflict, like with some. I mean, like, well, it's when okay, he mentioned back in 2015 about the death of Michael Brown. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know what happened, but I'm sure that it's tragic and very unfortunate. But when that happened, and he like sent out a message about it, it must have been like a tweet or something on Instagram or something, and it rubbed some Christians the wrong way because uh, a lot of Christians, unfortunately, they're kind of like we shouldn't bother ourselves about like things that go on in the world. Or we should almost like basically saying that like we shouldn't care about. It's basically saying we shouldn't care about other people who aren't Christians, okay, or trying to be Christians. Like that's basically a very unfortunate thought process that a lot of Christians have, and and just like and they're like, oh, don't talk about political issues and stuff, and yeah, so even if you care about it, they wouldn't want you to talk about it, and he talked about it, and well, political and societal issues like with racism and stuff, they like to keep all that outside, because they don't want anyone, feeling bad, so that they don't come to church or anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of the unfortunate mindset that a lot of them have. And yeah, so he came into some conflict with them, and that kind of spiraled him into like doubting God's existence, doubting his faith, doubting if he knew the truth. And then he just ended up deconstructing his faith, like looking at everything, like paying very close attention to what he professed to, what he believed in spiritually, and building it back up with the original context intact. Basically, like leaving the stereotypical evangelical stuff behind and building up the like more roots, origins of like the Bible, and of and just like the context of the whole Bible and stuff. So he basically deconstructed and then reconstructed his faith, and says he's now a lot better and stuff like that. That's basically it about what he's talking about in the song, and it's a very emotional journey going through it for him. You could just hear it in his voice as he raps his two verses, and yeah, and I think that he delivered the message really, really well. Is it as good as the intro CC4 and Still in America? No, no, but it's still a really good song in my opinion, and a nice like big way to end off the album, basically, because a lot of people have been asking like where he is in his faith and stuff. So yeah, that's a nice track to end things off on. Not the best track on the album, but still a really good song in my opinion. It's got a nice beat to it. Whoever does the chorus, they're not credited, unfortunately, again, but they do a good job as well. So yeah, overall, really good track. So I'll give Deconstruction about a 7 to a 7.5 out of 10. Not really sure. I'll figure it out. And that finally brings us to the end of Church Close 4, the final tape in the Church Close series. And this is a really solid project that we have right here. Yeah, I just not sure what I'm not, all right, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was expecting regular Lecrae, the regular Lecrae that I think is good but overrated. But this, because I see a lot of people calling him Gold Lecrae, especially the guys over at the crew. And with this album, with the technique, with the skill, with how he handled these very touchy, emotional topics, with charisma and just passion, like you could hear the passion in his voice. I think he did a great job with everything here, because other than Spread the Alps, which I'm still not that fond of, it's a really, really solid project. Overall, it's still a very, very solid project to me. So, yeah, this is I guess I'm finally seeing it. You know, I'm finally seeing what people see when they say that he's the best Christian rapper. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not sure if I think he's that yet, but he's certainly one of the best out there. So, top five for sure. So yeah, overall, if I were to rate the album, I would honestly give it like 8 out of 10. I give it yeah, a solid 8 out of 10 is what I'm feeling for this album. Just so many highlights on here. Of course, the intro, CC4, Spread the Alps video, whatever. Dirt was cool. Still in America is amazing. That is an amazing, like, beautiful, ugly, sad, happy. Well, not happy, but just an amazing song all around. Amazing message, amazing execution, everything. Misconceptions 4, one of the best posse cuts I've heard in CHH in quite some time. Honestly, ever. Honestly, everyone did a great job on there. Yeah, and of course everything else got sevens and 7.5. So those are great. I mean, great to good songs as well. So this is a really solid project from front to back. Only thing that really kind of falls under for me is surprisingly Spread the Alps. I don't know, maybe I'll grow to like it in the future, who knows. But as of right now, Church Close 4 for me, solid project. Lecrae does such a good job relaying the messages on here. And I finally see what people what other Christians see when they call him Lecrae. So yeah, solid project, solid 8 out of 10 in my opinion. Definitely, you know what? I would definitely recommend the entire project to you. Yeah. Only negatives that I have really is Spread the Alps being kind of mediocre. I wish if What Up RG and Jordan L'Oreal's features were bigger parts, or like if they were given bigger parts in their respective songs, that would have been great. But as those songs are, they are still good. They're still great. So I feel like I'm repeating myself now. Solid album. Great job by Lecrae. This is legit one of the best albums of the year. Not the best, but you know, one of the best. So yeah, I was really feeling this. So let me know how you feel about the album. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I'm sure that most of you agree with me. Maybe on the like small details you might disagree, but I'm pretty sure that overall you see where I'm coming from and you agree with me. So just feel free to share whatever thoughts you may have in the comments below. This has been First Not the Exorcist. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to know when I upload next. Lecrae, Church Close 4, solid 8 out of 10. Great album. Literally the best album that I've heard from Lecrae ever. So yeah, just really solid effort from it. But hopefully this is not his swan song. Hopefully there's more to come. Anyway, God bless.